Hey, what's going on, everyone? We're back for another shocking things about living in the Netherlands. This is an American video. She's got the mouse microphone back. Like it. Let's go. See if these things are truly shocking or not. Probably not that shocking. Not capital shocking level. But let's see.
Living in the Netherlands, and I'm continuously shocked by everyday things here. And so I wanted to share a few of those with you all today.
Yeah, that looks like similar to a First Nations totem pole almost.
So the first thing that I'm super shocked by is that the Netherlands has monthly air raid sirens. So every first Monday of the month.
Air raid sirens, is that to test the capability in case of flooding?
You'll hear these air raid sirens at noon, and they blast throughout the town for about a minute. And no one warned me about this before I came to the Netherlands. So the first time I heard these air raid sirens, I literally thought that we were under attack. And so I was like trying to look for cover. I was looking around at other people to see like their reactions, and the Dutch people around me were just like going about their day. Like it was.
I feel like this one's somewhat fair. Like if she really had no idea and you were just hanging out and then all of a sudden these air raid sirens are going on, you'd be like, what's going on? Am I dreaming? Like what's going on here?
Nothing, because it is nothing here. And yeah, it's totally normal. And so this happens because the government used these air raid sirens during World War II to warn people about bombing.
I was thinking there was a connection to the World War II, air raid sirens to forewarn about bombing raids, but
attacks.
How come they still?
The sirens are also used to warn people about inclement weather as well. And so these monthly sirens are just tests to make sure that the system is working correctly in case of an emergency. Although I heard that in 2025 these sirens will be going away, and
so if they're still used to indicate an emergency, what differentiates? How do citizens know what's a test and what's an emergency? Is it
would be replaced by alerts on your cell phone? And I've heard that this has caused some controversy.
That's what we have in British Columbia, at least. We get alerts. If you have a cell phone connected to the cell network, you'll receive a text message. It's quite eerie if you're on a public transit system, because everybody's phones will ding and then everybody's looking at their phones. It's quite almost dystopian or science fiction.
Because some people think that by having the alarms on your cell phone instead of blasting out in the open where everyone can hear it will keep some groups from being able to hear the alarms. So I am interested to hear what you all think about that. If you think that it's a good thing for them to stop these monthly air raid sirens, or if you think that it will negatively impact some groups of people. I'm also really shocked by the lack of small talk here. So in America, whenever you go to a retail store or a grocery store, you'll be greeted by the cashier, and you'll start to do this little exchange of like, how's your day go?
Nope, I don't do that. Not a chance. I'm friendly, I'm polite, but I'm not really asking.
Maybe what are you getting up to over the weekend?
Definitely not.
Let me look at what you bought and talk about those items. And this is like a totally normal exchange in the US. But here I've noticed that doesn't happen. And in the US, there's even a store that's really famous for how their cashiers do small talk.
Trader Joe's.
It's called Trader Joe's, and they have such S-tier small talk that you'll think that they're flirting with you most of the time. Sometimes they even give you flowers if they think that you're having a bad day or if they just want to. But I always hated this
I hope they get paid well for that level of dedication.
type of small talk if I wasn't at Trader Joe's. I found it really awkward to find something to talk about or to be engaged in that person's life when I didn't really know them. And it was also weird to figure out how much information to give to keep the conversation going, but also not give away too much. And I just remembered this really embarrassing interaction that I had with a cashier. So I went to buy those little smoothie pouches, the ones for kids. They're like the squeezy pouches. So I was buying a couple of them because I really like to have them. They're a really nice snack to just put in your backpack. And the cashier naturally thought that they were for kids. And so she was like, oh my God, my kids love these, but I can never get them to.
I didn't catch if this story was from the US or the Netherlands. I'm assuming it's in the US. Yeah, I don't want cashiers asking me questions. Not a chance. I'm too misanthropic. I'm too cynical.
You eat the ones with the veggies mixed in them.
JK.
How do you get yours to eat these? And I just froze, and for some crazy reason, I blurted out, oh, my kids really like these. And if you don't know, I don't have kids. So I have no idea why I said that. But I thought the conversation would end there. It did not. So then she started asking how old my kids were, what their names were,
to make up more.
where they went to school. And in the span of a couple minutes, I made up a whole backstory about my imaginary family to this woman. And yeah, that just wouldn't happen here, which is nice. I've really never even had a cashier here ask how I was doing. They just ring up my items, tell me how much it costs, and to have a good day. And
Perfect.
Another thing that I'm shocked by is just how early stores in the Netherlands close. So in the US, prior to the pandemic, our big chain grocery stores like Walmart were open 24/7. But nowadays,
24/7? Damn, not where I live.
they close more so around 11 p.m. And for our smaller convenience stores like
close at
CVS
9
or
or 10
Walgreens, which
latest.
are comparable to Boots, I don't know if there's a store in the Netherlands that is comparable to. I was thinking Etos, but they don't have snacks or food there, so it probably wouldn't be them. But anyways, stores like that are typically open 24 hours. So it was a huge shock for me coming to the Netherlands and finding out that most stores close at 5 p.m.
So that's also only in metropolitan areas. Like, it's not going to be where I live or any areas away from our bigger cities like Vancouver, Victoria, Calgary, Edmonton, all the way across. But like, you're not going to really find a 24-hour store. You might find a 24-hour McDonald's. Usually 7-Eleven's like the only option.
I did find that there are some Jumbos or Albert Heijns that are open till 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., but there are no stores that are open 24 hours here, at least where I live. And I've heard that Dutch people like this because they like to work normal hours, which fair enough. So they don't want a culture where people are working overnight, which is totally reasonable. But as an American, it does give me a bit of anxiety to not be able to go to this. Oh my God. Like,
why would you get anxiety because you can't go to the store at 1 a.m? Wait, I want to see what she's going to say. But.
he's so cute. Hi. Also, as you can tell, a lot of dogs here are not on leashes, and so they just roam around. And I don't know if that's something like specific to Amersfoort or if this is something that's typical throughout all of the Netherlands.
That's just a thing, especially in nature parks. Same thing here. Like, you're gonna come across a lot of off-leash dogs. It can be an area of contention. Some people get quite perturbed. Some people are not impressed. The key, I think, would be the owner having a modicum of control over the animal. I personally don't mind it usually. Sometimes it's annoying if we're by like the river or the lake where you're on a hike and then this dog comes bounding up. He's all wet and he shakes off in front of you and he gets mud and water all over you. It can be annoying. And then also if you have a pet that's on leash, maybe has some anxiety about meeting other animals, like, yeah, I'm not a biggest fan of off-leash dogs unless the owner's their callback is almost 100%. Like, it's be like, nope, here, right? And I don't always want to get approached by a dog, so it can be annoying.
So I'd love to know.
Plus, I've almost been attacked by a dog that was off leash, and it was one of the most scary moments ever because it was a huge dog, and yeah.
So, if you know, just leave a comment. So like I was saying, it's totally reasonable, but as an American, it does give me a bit of anxiety to not be able to go to the grocery store in the middle of the night if I might need like medicine or say that I have the munchies and I'm really hungry. It's more so anxiety around the convenience of being able to go
I'm not sure if I'd classify that as anxiety, but okay.
whenever I want. And so that's been a bit of a culture shock for me, but at the end of the day, it's not really a big deal, and it's better to have people not have to work overnight shifts and be able to
really
enjoy life.
not a big
And
deal at all.
speaking of grocery stores,
And shouldn't even be a
something
thing,
else that
really.
I found to be super interesting is that there's American sections of grocery stores here, or like American food items that are totally not American. And so whenever I see an American themed thing here, it's more so a Frankenstein mix of American like tastes that we as Americans would never put together. So I do wonder if the Dutch actually think that we eat this way, or that we eat these items, or if this is
I'm
the
curious
Dutch
what the
way
items are.
of making these foods taste better to their palate. I just think it's really funny not being able to recognize things that are supposed to be American.
It's just this American section. Does it have like an American flag above it? Like what?
And I think that we do it in America as well when it comes to Asian foods or Hispanic foods. We'll put our own twist on them, whether it's because of ignorance or to just make it more palatable to the average American consumer. Okay, so those are just a few things that shocked me about the Netherlands so far. I'm sure that I'll have a lot more as time passes, but I'd love to know if you have any suggestions for videos that you'd like to see in the future, or any topics that you'd like to hear me talk about. You can just leave those in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
Good stuff. Yeah, I didn't really particularly find the air raid thing. I found interesting, and I think we've encountered that on prior videos. I would be, if I had literally no idea about it. However, if I was in the Netherlands, I probably would be like, knowing the history and stuff, I'd be like, oh, you know, these sound like much like World War II sirens. But I could see being surprised by that. Lack of small talk in grocery stores, that's very normal and something that I'm totally good with. Stores closing early, who cares? She mentioned having anxiety. I think it's more so just missing the convenience of it, I suppose. I'm not leaving the house past 9 p.m. typically. So, yeah. All right. We shall see you all soon. Peace out.